Hello, good evening. This is Dr. Vijayvel from JV Academy for Commerce Studies. In our previous presentation for economics students of plus 2 CBSE stream, we have offered one video presentation on introductory part about economics. In this class, we are going to see the second chapter, I mean the theory of consumer behavior. As you know, in microeconomics, the topic of a discussion, the subject matter of a discussion is individual unit, that is, in our case, the individual consumer. How an individual consumer is preferring his want to be fulfilled. As you know, the income of consumer is said to be limited for our assumption and understanding purposes. There are different sets of goods which are available before him. So with a limited amount of resources in the form of income, how our consumer is going to choose what type of goods? Of course, that is the problem of choice in economics. When it comes to selecting a particular good or service, obviously what are all the considerations a consumer will be having? He or she would like to have maximum satisfaction out of a consumption of the set item. Okay. What is the other thing? Their priority, that is a preference, likes. There is strong desire for a particular product. So these two considerations are very important because the income is very limited. There is a demand. Of course, there is affordability, the ability to purchase. Everything is there. But the income have to be utilized in a judicious manner as far as the fulfillment of his conditions, I mean his requirements are concerned. So to exemplify this, we have two approaches, namely cardinal utility analysis and ordinal utility analysis. So what are the two analysis? Cardinal utility analysis and ordinal utility analysis. So before going into these analysis, let's have some more discussion about some related concepts so that we can have a very good understanding about these analysis. What all are they? The first one, let me give you some idea about utility. What is utility? The want satisfying capacity of any product or service. Want satisfying capacity. Of course, a person is there, he has a strong desire for some product, for some service. How much that the product or the service is good enough to fulfill his desire, to fulfill his requirement, that is what called as utility. So utility is again a matter of a subjective one. It will vary from person to person, as you know. Say for example, a person may be liking ice cream so much, whereas the person who is accompanying him, the other person, may not be liking it so much, but at a time they may be consuming it, having it. Do you think both of them will be having the same amount of utility out of a consumption of the said product, I mean ice cream? No. The person who has a strong desire to have ice cream will be feeling greater satisfaction. That is called utility. Whereas the other person who is just accompanying the first person will be having a limited amount of satisfaction out of that consumption. That is called a limited utility. See, the same product is consumed by two people at the same time, but the degree of variation in terms of their utility is very profound, very huge. That is why we say the utility as a concept is subjective in nature. It will vary from person to person, even place to place. You think about the need for having air conditioner in some hilly regions like Ooty or Kodaikanal for that matter. how it will be useful in very hot climatic conditions, prevailing places like Vellore or Chennai. See, the place itself is the determiner. The kind of a product we are using, the kind of a services we are using is secondary. Rather, the place where it is being sought after, where it is required, that is primary. I am just making all these examples, I am quoting all these examples just to drive home the point that the utility is more important, and then it is a subjective nature. We have two more utility related concepts for our discussion here. I just wrap this presentation by explaining these two concepts in a very brief manner. They are total utility and the marginal utility. Total utility and the marginal utility. What is the total utility? What is the total amount of satisfaction a person is having by consuming a certain fixed number of goods? At the same time, the person may be having some extra utility by having one more extra item, that is called the marginal utility. Total utility is the total amount of satisfaction a person is having on consuming or availing a certain fixed number of goods, whereas over and above what is available, one extra item, if at all available, what kind of a satisfaction it will be giving to the person or to the consumer, that is explained, that is defined as marginal utility. These two concepts are very important for getting more advanced understanding about these two analysis, I mean cardinal utility analysis and the marginal utility analysis. So we will be having further discussion about this in our upcoming videos. Thank you.